In the quiet spring of 1974, as farmers dug a simple well near the ancient city of Xi'an in Shanxi Province, China, they had little idea of the monumental discovery that lay just beneath their feet. With each strike of their shovels, they unearthed strange fragments of hardened clay. An arm, a leg, a face, each piece crafted with an attention to detail that seemed almost lifelike. They had stumbled upon what would become one of the most astonishing archaeological finds of the 20th century. The Terracotta Army, an ancient collection of warriors, horses, and chariots created over 2,000 years ago to guard the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang. As news of the discovery spread, archaeologists, historians, and scholars from around the world converged on the site. Beneath the ground lay an entire army, painstakingly crafted from terracotta clay and arranged in ranks as though ready for battle. This was not merely a burial. It was a testament to the power, ambition, and fear of a ruler who dreamed of conquering not only life, but death itself. Each warrior was unique, with distinct facial features, expressions, and armor, suggesting they may have been modeled after real soldiers, bringing life to an otherwise silent, unmoving legion. As excavation continued, the scale of Qin Shi Huang's tomb complex began to reveal itself. The Terracotta Army was just one part of a sprawling mausoleum, rumored to be a grand palace beneath the earth, complete with rivers of mercury, ceilings painted with stars, and vast chambers filled with treasures meant to accompany the emperor into eternity. Yet, despite all that has been uncovered, the core of Qin Shi Huang's tomb remains untouched, as archaeologists proceed cautiously, wary of damaging the site or triggering any ancient traps left to protect it. The story of the Terracotta Army is not only about the stunning artistry and scale of the statues, but also the secrets they hold, how they were made, why each soldier was given such individuality, and what lay within the emperor's mind that led him to create such a monumental testament to his legacy. Qin Shi Huang was a man whose ambitions knew no bounds, a ruler who, after uniting China under his iron fist, sought to rule even beyond death, protected by his loyal army in the afterlife. This journey takes us into the heart of ancient China, where power, artistry, and the quest for immortality converge. We will explore the life of Qin Shi Huang, the artisans who crafted this silent army, the mysteries surrounding the emperor's tomb, and the unending allure of one of history's greatest archaeological treasures, the Terracotta Army. Chapter 1. The Rise of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Imagine ancient China over 2,000 years ago, a land divided and fractured by war, where 7 powerful states battled fiercely for dominance. The land was a patchwork of kingdoms, each vying for supremacy, each dreaming of unification but torn apart by rivalry. In this era of bloodshed and ambition, a young ruler emerged, destined to reshape China's future and leave a legacy that would echo through the ages. This was Ying Zheng, the man who would become Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. Born in 259 BCE, Ying Zheng came into a world shaped by conflict and the desire for power. As a child, he witnessed the ambitions of powerful warlords, the constant clash of armies, and the devastation of war. By the age of 13, he inherited the throne of the state of Qin, a powerful but ruthless kingdom known for its military strength and organizational prowess. Though young, Ying Zheng held a vision that extended far beyond his kingdom's borders. He was determined to unite the warring states and create a single, mighty empire. As Ying Zheng grew into adulthood, his ambition only intensified. He saw the division and disorder in the land as obstacles to be crushed, swept away to make room for a new, unified China. Through military strategy, political cunning, and sheer determination, Ying Zheng launched a campaign that would change the course of Chinese history. Over the next decade, his armies swept across the land, conquering one state after another. He employed generals of unmatched skill, leveraged espionage and deception, and brought each rival state under his control. With each victory, Ying Zheng moved closer to his dream of a unified empire. In 221 BCE, after a relentless campaign, Ying Zheng achieved his goal. The last of the rival states fell, and for the first time in history, China was united under a single ruler. To symbolize this unprecedented feat, Ying Zheng took on a new title, Qin Shi Huang, meaning First Emperor of Qin. He had transformed China from a fractured land of warlords into a unified empire, bringing stability and centralization to a region that had known only division. But Qin Shi Huang's vision extended far beyond conquest. He dreamed of a China that would endure for centuries, a realm of order, strength, and cultural unity. To achieve this, he implemented sweeping reforms that reached into every corner of society. He standardized currency, weights, and measures to unify trade and commerce, making it easier for goods to flow across the empire. He instituted a common written language, ensuring that people from different regions could communicate and share ideas. These reforms brought cohesion to the empire, unifying not only its borders but its people, culture, and traditions. However, Qin Shi Huang's rule was not without its darker side. His ambition for control was matched by a desire for absolute power, and he ruled with a fierce, often ruthless hand. To maintain his grip on the empire, he established strict laws and harsh punishments, ensuring obedience through fear and discipline. He ordered the construction of vast networks of roads to connect the empire, but used forced labor to complete them, with thousands of workers toiling under brutal conditions. His ambitious projects demanded resources and manpower on an unprecedented scale, reshaping the landscape but often at a terrible human cost. As Qin Shi Huang's reign progressed, he became increasingly obsessed with immortality. The thought of death, of losing his power and his legacy, haunted him. He ordered his alchemists to seek out elixirs of eternal life, consulting mystics, scholars, and wise men who promised him ways to cheat death. His quest for immortality would lead him to commission one of the most astonishing projects in history, a grand tomb complex, one that would serve as his eternal resting place, a palace for the afterlife. Qin Shi Huang envisioned this tomb not merely as a place of burial, but as a sprawling underground empire where he could rule forever. He ordered the construction of the Terracotta Army, an astonishing force of clay soldiers, horses, chariots, and weaponry, crafted with intricate detail to guard him in the afterlife. This Terracotta Army would be a testament to his power, a symbol of his authority that would protect him through eternity. And so, under his command, thousands of artisans, craftsmen, and laborers began the enormous task of creating this army of clay warriors. Each figure was crafted with meticulous care, from the expressions on their faces to the armor on their bodies, as if they were real soldiers standing ready to defend their emperor. As Qin Shi Huang's life drew to a close, his obsession with immortality only grew stronger. He surrounded himself with the wisdom of the ages, the teachings of ancient texts, and the guidance of those who claimed to understand the mysteries of life and death. Despite his fears, he could not escape his mortality. When he passed in 210 BCE, his tomb was still unfinished, but the Terracotta Army stood ready, an eternal testament to the emperor's ambition, his achievements, and his belief in his right to rule even beyond death. Today, Qin Shi Huang's legacy endures, not just in the history books, but in the silent, stoic ranks of the Terracotta Army, who stand guard over his tomb, a reminder of a ruler whose ambition knew no bounds. His life, filled with power, conquest, and the desire for immortality, set the stage for one of the most fascinating archaeological wonders in history. A wonder that would lie hidden for over 2,000 years, waiting to reveal its secrets to the world. Chapter 2. Crafting the Guardians, Artisans and Techniques. Imagine the vast workshop buzzing with activity over 2,000 years ago. Artisans, sculptors, metalworkers, and potters work tirelessly, each one contributing to an undertaking that would one day become an astonishing wonder of the world, the Terracotta Army. Under the directive of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, an entire army was to be constructed. An army made not of flesh and blood, but of clay, iron, and artistry, an eternal force to guard him in the afterlife. This was no ordinary task. It would require skill, time, and thousands of dedicated hands to bring such a grand vision to life. The scale of this project was unprecedented. Over 8,000 terracotta soldiers, along with chariots, horses, and weapons, would be crafted, each figure almost life-sized and weighing hundreds of pounds. These were no mere clay statues. They were crafted to resemble actual soldiers, with individual facial features, expressions, armor, and weaponry. Some of the soldiers stand in battle stances, others at attention, and still others positioned as though ready to command. Horses stand beside their charioteers, lifelike in every detail, their hooves carefully sculpted, their muscles and coats textured to resemble reality. Every element was executed with an astonishing level of detail and care, as if each warrior were a living being, ready to protect the emperor in both life and death. The artisans and craftsmen who worked on the Terracotta Army were likely drawn from all over the Qin Empire, summoned to the capital to contribute to the emperor's monumental tomb complex. These craftsmen included not only skilled sculptors and potters, but also metalworkers who fashioned real weapons, bronze swords, spears, and crossbows that were given to some of the terracotta soldiers. The weapons were sharpened and functional, crafted with alloys that helped prevent corrosion, ensuring they would stand the test of time. To create each soldier, artisans used a process known as coiling, which involved shaping the bodies from the ground up using rolls of clay. Each section, legs, torso, arms, and head, was formed separately and then attached, allowing for greater flexibility in design and posing. Once assembled, each figure was then detailed by skilled hands. Artists carefully sculpted each face, giving individual expressions, hairstyles, and facial features. Some scholars believe that these faces might have been modeled after real soldiers, officials, or guards in Qin Shi Huang's actual army, creating a veritable replica of his forces. After the bodies were complete, a variety of different molds were used to produce the soldier's armor, with separate pieces added for chest plates, shoulder guards, and helmets. The artisans added unique details to each piece, differentiating soldiers by rank, role, and battalion, with some wearing simple armor and others outfitted with the elaborate gear of higher-ranking officers. The variety was astounding. Some figures appear in light, flexible armor suited for archers, while others have heavier, full-body armor fit for frontline warriors. Each soldier was given footwear suited to his role, whether boots for the infantry or soft shoes for the cavalry, each crafted to resemble real military attire. Once the statues were sculpted, they were carefully fired in massive kilns, a process that required precision and patience. Firing such large clay figures was a delicate task. Too much heat, and the figures could crack or shatter. Too little, and they would be fragile and easily damaged. The firing process strengthened the terracotta, giving the warriors a hardened structure that would allow them to endure through centuries. But the artistry did not end with firing. After cooling, each figure was painted with vivid colors, reds, greens, blues, and purples, to enhance the realism of the warriors. These colors would make the army even more lifelike, an effect that was meant to dazzle and impress anyone who saw them. The painters used a technique known as Chinese purple, an ancient pigment unique to China and rarely seen in other cultures of the time. However, when the Terracotta Army was unearthed thousands of years later, much of the paint had faded due to exposure to air and light, leaving the figures in their natural clay color. Still, traces of pigment can be found, offering a glimpse of the warrior's original, vibrant appearance. This army was not just a show of power, but a display of the remarkable skills and resources Qin Shi Huang could command. It's estimated that over 700,000 workers, artisans, laborers, and slaves were involved in the construction of his mausoleum complex, including the Terracotta Army. The craftsmanship, the scale, and the individuality of each figure speak to the labor and dedication poured into the project. The Terracotta Army was equipped with real bronze weapons, which archaeologists discovered were coated in a thin layer of chromium oxide, a treatment that helped protect them from rust for centuries. This technique demonstrated the advanced metallurgical knowledge of the Qin dynasty. The fact that the weapons were battle-ready also symbolized the emperor's intent for this army to defend him in the afterlife, as if he expected that even in death he might face the trials of combat. As the artisans worked day and night, crafting row after row of soldiers, they were not just making statues, they were creating a legacy. Each figure, each chariot, each horse was a piece of Qin Shi Huang's dream of immortality, a part of his belief that he would continue to rule in the afterlife, surrounded by his loyal forces. The project was immense, but it was also a tribute to the emperor's ambition and the incredible skill of the craftsmen who brought his vision to life. And so, as the last statues were placed in their ranks, ready for their eternal watch, the artisans stepped back, leaving behind a creation that would outlast their own lives, a silent army that would guard the emperor's tomb for millennia. Little did they know that over 2,000 years later, this army would be unearthed, its story captivating the world, each figure a testament to the power, artistry, and ambition of ancient China. Chapter 3. Secrets of the Tomb and the Forbidden Zone. As remarkable as the Terracotta Army is, it's only one part of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's grand tomb complex, a sprawling underground world designed to mirror his empire, built to house his spirit and guard him in the afterlife. According to ancient records and legends, the tomb itself, which lies at the heart of the mausoleum, is a vast, mysterious palace containing treasures, replicas of landscapes, and secrets that have yet to be fully uncovered. Even today, over 2,000 years after the tomb's creation, its most sacred areas remain sealed, carefully preserved from exploration. This forbidden zone, as it's known, holds the emperor's burial chamber and is rumored to contain wonders beyond imagination. Archaeologists have approached the tomb with reverence and caution, partly to preserve what lies within, but also out of respect for the ancient warnings that claim powerful traps may still guard the chamber. According to ancient Chinese texts, including historical records written by Sima Qian, a famed historian of the Han Dynasty, the burial chamber of Qin Shi Huang was constructed as a lavish underground kingdom. Sima Qian described an elaborate world crafted within the tomb, a microcosm of the emperor's empire, meant to allow him to rule forever. The tomb was reportedly filled with rivers of liquid mercury that flowed through its floors, representing the great rivers of China, while the ceiling was embedded with jewels to mimic the night sky, twinkling like stars to give the emperor a view of the heavens even in death. These descriptions, however, remain unconfirmed. While archaeologists have indeed found elevated mercury levels around the tomb, indicating the possible use of mercury within the burial chamber, they have yet to explore the central tomb due to fears of damaging its contents. Preserving the chamber in its pristine state requires avoiding the kind of exposure that caused the Terracotta Army's paint to fade quickly once unearthed. Additionally, ancient texts suggest that traps, possibly using mechanisms similar to early crossbows, were installed to protect against grave robbers. These traps are believed to be still active, ready to discharge arrows or release noxious gases at any trespasser who dares enter. Outside the burial chamber, the mausoleum complex itself stretches across an area of nearly 56 square kilometers, larger than many modern cities. Excavations have revealed that the mausoleum was designed as a city for the dead, complete with palaces, offices, stables, and various facilities, as if Qin Shi Huang had recreated his earthly empire underground. The Terracotta Army stands at attention in one section, while other areas contain pits filled with statues of officials, acrobats, musicians, and animals, all crafted to serve the emperor in the afterlife. The intricate layout and the level of planning that went into constructing this underground city demonstrate the extent of Qin Shi Huang's preparations for eternity and his determination to rule even beyond death. One of the most enigmatic aspects of the tomb complex is the presence of hidden, unexcavated chambers believed to hold untold treasures and insights into ancient Chinese practices. Scholars believe that these chambers might contain rare artifacts, historical texts, and perhaps even technological innovations that Qin Shi Huang implemented during his reign. The tomb's design also hints at a high level of cosmological knowledge, as many features seem aligned with astronomical principles, symbolizing the emperor's desire to place himself in harmony with the cosmos, an eternal ruler in both life and death. Some scholars suggest that the tomb's layout was influenced by Taoist beliefs and Qin Shi Huang's own obsession with immortality. The emperor had sent expeditions across China in search of elixirs and potions that promised eternal life, and these beliefs may have influenced the structure and contents of his tomb. The rivers of mercury, for example, were not only symbolic of China's rivers, but also believed by alchemists to possess life-extending properties. Qin Shi Huang's burial chamber, with its celestial ceiling and liquid mercury rivers, was a physical manifestation of his aspirations for divinity, a resting place that mirrored the heavens and allowed him to transcend mortality. Despite the tantalizing mysteries that lie within, Chinese archaeologists have chosen not to open the central tomb, preferring to wait until technology advances enough to explore the chamber without damaging its contents. There is hope that, one day, non-invasive methods could allow scientists to view the interior, revealing the secrets it holds while preserving the tomb's structural integrity and delicate materials. For now, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang remains one of the world's most enduring archaeological mysteries, a silent, unbroken vault of treasures and stories, protected by the legendary Terracotta Army. Its secrets are as old as the empire it represents, waiting for the right moment, the right tools, and the right hands to finally reveal its wonders. The Forbidden Zone stands as a testament to Qin Shi Huang's belief in his eternal reign, an untouched realm that has captured the fascination of generations. The mysteries surrounding the tomb, from the hidden traps to the rivers of mercury, keep the legend alive. Each year, millions visit the site, drawn by the allure of its secrets and the haunting silence of the Terracotta Army. This Forbidden Zone is more than just an ancient tomb. It is a symbol of humanity's unending curiosity, our quest to understand the past, and the lengths we go to preserve history's most valuable relics. The Terracotta Army and the unexcavated tomb remain watchful guardians over Qin Shi Huang's legacy, a reminder of his ambition, his quest for immortality, and the power he wielded both in life and beyond. Chapter 4. The Beliefs and Symbols of the Afterlife. The construction of Qin Shi Huang's tomb and the meticulous creation of the Terracotta Army were not merely displays of power. They were reflections of deeply rooted beliefs about life, death, and eternity. In ancient China, the afterlife was viewed not as an end, but as a continuation, a realm where the soul would carry on, requiring protection, sustenance, and even companionship. For Qin Shi Huang, whose ambitions and achievements were vast, death presented a unique challenge. A challenge he intended to conquer by creating an empire for himself in the afterlife. Ancient Chinese society held that death was a journey from the mortal world to the spiritual one. This belief was particularly prevalent among the ruling classes, who saw the afterlife as a mirror of their earthly existence. The elite expected to continue their roles, needing servants, officials, and even armies to ensure that they maintained their status and security in the next life. Qin Shi Huang's desire for immortality extended beyond his physical existence. He wanted to secure his position as emperor for eternity. This concept of an afterlife filled with physical comforts and protections can be traced back to ancestor worship and Taoist cosmology, both of which influenced Qin Shi Huang's vision for his mausoleum. The emperor's massive tomb complex was not just a place of burial, but a kingdom in miniature, a sanctuary where he could continue his rule in peace. To ensure that he would be protected, Qin Shi Huang ordered the creation of an entire army, an army that would stand guard over him, ward off any spirits or threats, and affirm his authority even in death. The choice of terracotta for these soldiers was significant. Clay was considered to be a material with spiritual resonance, symbolizing the connection between the earth and the spirit world. It allowed for the creation of lifelike forms that could act as vessels for the essence of real soldiers, bridging the gap between the emperor's two worlds. Ancient Chinese philosophy also held that man was composed of both physical and spiritual elements, and by crafting each soldier with care, the artisans created a physical representation that could be imbued with a spiritual purpose. One of the most striking features of the Terracotta Army is the individuality of each soldier. unlike most ancient statues, which were mass-produced with uniform expressions. Every terracotta warrior was unique, with different facial features, expressions, and details. Scholars believe that this individualization was intentional, as it symbolized the distinct spirits of the soldiers who would accompany the emperor. It also reflected the emperor's view of his empire. Just as his earthly army was vast and diverse, so too would his spirit army be. Ancient Chinese funerary practices were steeped in symbolism, with each element in a tomb carefully chosen to protect the deceased and ensure a favorable journey to the afterlife. The tomb was filled not only with the Terracotta Army, but also with other statues and artifacts, each designed to serve a role in the afterlife. Statues of musicians, acrobats, and officials were added to entertain and serve Qin Shi Huang, creating a society within the tomb complex. This practice reflected the belief that the deceased could influence the world of the living, and that they required the same comforts and services in death as they had in life. One of the most intriguing and symbolic features of Qin Shi Huang's tomb is the rivers of mercury said to flow within his burial chamber. Ancient texts describe these rivers as representations of China's great waterways, intended to recreate the geography of the empire within the tomb. However, mercury held an additional symbolic value. It was believed to possess life-giving properties and was frequently used by alchemists in their attempts to achieve immortality. Qin Shi Huang was known to have consumed mercury-based potions in his quest for eternal life, and the presence of mercury in his tomb may have been an extension of this belief, a way to preserve his spirit and protect him in the afterlife. The ceiling of the tomb chamber was said to be adorned with precious gems, arranged to represent the stars and planets in the night sky, giving Qin Shi Huang a cosmic view from his resting place. This celestial design was meant to symbolize the emperor's place in the universe, linking his power to the heavens. It reflected the ancient Chinese view of the emperor as the son of heaven, a ruler who bridged the earthly and divine realms. In this way, the tomb was not merely a resting place, but a symbol of Qin Shi Huang's eternal rule over both heaven and earth. In addition to physical symbols, the layout of the tomb complex followed principles of feng shui, the ancient practice of harmonizing structures with the natural environment to promote balance, peace, and protection. The arrangement of the soldiers, officials, and guardians within the tomb was carefully planned to align with the elements, ensuring that Qin Shi Huang's spirit would be at peace and that his realm would remain undisturbed. Feng shui principles dictated the orientation and positioning of each component within the tomb, creating a balanced environment that would support the emperor's journey through eternity. While most of Qin Shi Huang's tomb remains unexcavated, scholars believe that other intricate elements were included to ensure his journey to the afterlife was smooth and his authority maintained. Early records suggest that the tomb included symbols of longevity, such as images of the dragon and phoenix, creatures associated with eternal life and harmony. The dragon represented strength, wisdom, and protection, while the phoenix symbolized rebirth and immortality, embodying the emperor's desire for everlasting rule. Today, these beliefs are reflected in the careful preservation efforts surrounding the Terracotta Army and the tomb complex. The reverence with which archaeologists approach the site is a modern-day reflection of the ancient Chinese belief in the sanctity of burial places and the importance of honoring the dead. In many ways, the Terracotta Army is more than just an archaeological treasure. It is a symbol of humanity's relationship with life, death, and the afterlife. a reminder of the lengths to which we go to seek meaning, purpose, and continuity. The Terracotta Army and the untouched tomb of Qin Shi Huang stand as lasting monuments to an emperor's vision of eternity. Each figure, each carefully crafted face, represents not only the soldiers who served him in life, but also the emperor's conviction that his power would endure beyond death. They are guardians not only of the emperor's spirit, but of his belief in the eternal cycle of life and legacy. As you picture the silent ranks of soldiers standing guard over Qin Shi Huang's tomb, feel the weight of centuries that surround them, the wisdom of ancient beliefs woven into their purpose. These warriors are more than clay. They are vessels of a vision, guardians of an enduring spirit, protectors of an emperor who believed that his reign would continue in the afterlife as it had in life. Chapter 5. Rediscovering the Past. Excavation and Preservation. The Terracotta Army lay undisturbed beneath the soil of Shanxi Province for over 2,000 years, a silent testament to an ancient emperor's quest for power and immortality. But in 1974, a group of farmers made a discovery that would change our understanding of ancient China forever. As they dug a well on their farmland, they uncovered fragments of terracotta clay, pieces of a warrior's arm and face, sculpted with an attention to detail that was both lifelike and haunting. They had unknowingly unearthed part of an enormous underground army, waiting to reveal its secrets to the world. News of the discovery spread quickly, capturing the attention of archaeologists, historians, and scholars from around the globe. This was a find of unprecedented scale and importance. A complete army crafted from terracotta, meticulously arranged in battle formations, buried to serve Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China in the afterlife. The Terracotta Army offered a glimpse into the life and beliefs of ancient China, revealing not only the emperor's power, but also the artistic and technological achievements of the Qin dynasty. Excavation of the site began in earnest, revealing row upon row of terracotta soldiers, each one unique in expression, posture, and detail. These figures were arranged in pits, standing as though ready for battle, a testament to the emperor's authority and his determination to be guarded in the afterlife. Archaeologists uncovered chariots, horses, and even the remnants of bronze weaponry, all designed to create a realistic and imposing military force. However, the excavation process was not without its challenges. As the terracotta figures were unearthed and exposed to the air for the first time in over 2 millennia, the vibrant paint that once adorned them began to peel and fade within minutes. Each warrior had originally been painted in vivid colors, reds, greens, purples, and blues, that would have made them even more lifelike. But exposure to air caused the pigments to deteriorate rapidly, leaving the figures in their natural clay color. This loss of color presented a difficult question for archaeologists. How could they excavate and preserve the figures without sacrificing their original detail? The rapid fading of the paint led archaeologists to reconsider their approach. To protect the remaining warriors, they halted extensive excavation efforts, choosing instead to focus on preserving the uncovered figures and developing techniques to safeguard any future discoveries. Researchers and scientists from around the world joined forces to find preservation methods that would stabilize the pigments, using chemical treatments and controlled environments to prevent further deterioration. Though the techniques were not perfect, they offered hope that future warriors might be excavated without losing their colorful history. In addition to preserving the paint, archaeologists faced the task of reconstructing many of the warriors. The Terracotta Army had suffered damage over the centuries due to natural forces, including earthquakes and soil pressure, which had caused many figures to crack or shatter. Thousands of pieces needed to be carefully pieced back together like a massive jigsaw puzzle, a painstaking process that required skill, patience, and attention to detail. Each fragment was catalogued, matched, and carefully reattached, restoring the warriors to their original form. One of the most astonishing aspects of the Terracotta Army's preservation is the advanced techniques used by the ancient artisans to create the soldiers' weapons. The bronze weapons discovered in the pits, including swords, spears, and crossbows, were found to be in remarkably good condition, due in part to a thin coating of chromium oxide that protected them from rust. This technique, which may have been developed specifically for the Terracotta Army, demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of metallurgy, preserving the weapon's sharpness and functionality even after 2,000 years underground. The scale of the excavation site itself also presented unique challenges. The mausoleum complex of Qin Shi Huang covers nearly 56 square kilometers, larger than many modern cities. Only a fraction of this area has been excavated, with the rest remaining unexplored due to the immense resources and time required. Archaeologists have chosen to focus on the Terracotta Army's main pits, uncovering 3 large sections filled with soldiers, chariots, and horses, while leaving other areas, including the emperor's central tomb, undisturbed. Preservation efforts continue to this day, with new technologies being developed to aid in the excavation and conservation of the site. Researchers are experimenting with non-invasive methods to scan the tomb's interior, using advanced imaging techniques that allow them to map underground structures without physically disturbing them. This technology could one day reveal the secrets of Qin Shi Huang's burial chamber, providing insight into the unexcavated portions of the mausoleum and the treasures that may lie within. The discovery and preservation of the Terracotta Army have provided a window into ancient Chinese civilization, offering insights into the beliefs, artistry, and ambitions of the Qin dynasty. The sheer scale of the project reflects the power and influence of Qin Shi Huang, a ruler who united China and sought to leave an indelible mark on history. But the Terracotta Army is more than just an archaeological wonder. It is a reminder of humanity's desire to preserve its legacy, to leave behind something enduring that speaks to future generations. Today, the Terracotta Army is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, visited by millions of people each year. Scholars continue to study the warriors, uncovering new details about their creation, their purpose, and the techniques used to construct them. The site has inspired art, literature, and even modern architecture, serving as a symbol of China's ancient cultural heritage and the remarkable achievements of its people. The preservation efforts surrounding the Terracotta Army demonstrate a modern-day respect for the ancient past, a desire to honor and protect one of history's most extraordinary discoveries. Each soldier, horse, and chariot represents a piece of history, a glimpse into a world long gone but never forgotten. The Terracotta Army stands as a silent sentinel over Qin Shi Huang's tomb, an enduring symbol of the emperor's power, his ambition, and the artistry of the people who crafted his vision into reality. As you picture the carefully reconstructed warriors standing guard over the tomb, feel the weight of centuries that have passed and the meticulous efforts that have brought these figures back to life. The Terracotta Army is not only a marvel of the past, but a bridge to the present, a reminder that history is always with us, preserved by those who honor its stories and protected by those who value its legacy. Chapter 6. The Legacy of the Terracotta Warriors. The Terracotta Army, standing silently in rows as if ready for battle, has become more than an archaeological wonder. It is a symbol of ancient China's power, artistry, and ingenuity, a testament to Emperor Qin Shi Huang's ambition, and a bridge connecting the past to the present. Since their discovery, the terracotta warriors have captivated the imagination of millions, drawing visitors, scholars, and history enthusiasts from around the world. Their legacy continues to grow, inspiring awe, study, and reflection on the cultural heritage of ancient China. When the Terracotta Army was unearthed, it marked a turning point in our understanding of China's first emperor and his era. The warriors gave a face to the Qin dynasty, providing a glimpse into the lives and beliefs of a people who existed over 2,000 years ago. They revealed the grandeur of Qin Shi Huang's vision, one that extended beyond life itself and into the realm of eternity. For many, the terracotta warriors are not merely clay figures. They are a representation of China's enduring spirit, resilience, and pride in its ancient roots. The Terracotta Army's influence extends far beyond the borders of China. Since the 1980s, select figures from the Army have been loaned to museums worldwide, from the British Museum in London to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. These exhibitions have allowed people from different cultures to experience the grandeur and mystery of the terracotta warriors firsthand. Seeing these figures in person brings history to life, bridging cultural and geographical divides, allowing people to connect with a story from long ago. In China, the Terracotta Army has become a cultural icon, an enduring source of national pride. Xi'an, the site of the mausoleum, has transformed into a major cultural and tourist destination, drawing millions of visitors each year who come to witness the silent ranks of warriors standing guard over Qin Shi Huang's tomb. The site has also inspired educational programs, artistic representations, and festivals celebrating the achievements of ancient China. The warriors serve as a reminder of China's long history, its unity, and the powerful influence of its early leaders. For archaeologists and historians, the Terracotta Army represents an ongoing mystery and an opportunity for continued study. Each warrior, each artifact, holds the potential to reveal new insights into ancient Chinese society, military organization, and artistic techniques. The presence of the Terracotta Army has fueled research into Qin dynasty customs, burial practices, and beliefs about the afterlife, enriching our understanding of China's cultural heritage. Even now, nearly 50 years after their discovery, new technologies and preservation techniques continue to unlock secrets that were buried with the warriors. In addition to academic and cultural impacts, the Terracotta Army has sparked countless legends and stories, inspiring literature, films, and art across the globe. Writers and filmmakers have reimagined the warriors as part of fantastical narratives, blending history with myth. In these stories, the Terracotta Army becomes more than a protective force for a long-dead emperor. It is depicted as a mystical army that might awaken, or as an enduring guardian of hidden secrets. These creative works capture the imagination, showing how history can inspire new interpretations and ideas. The legacy of the Terracotta Army also raises important questions about the preservation and respect of cultural heritage. The choice to leave Qin Shi Huang's central tomb undisturbed speaks to a growing awareness of the need to protect ancient artifacts, balancing the desire for discovery with the responsibility of preservation. The Terracotta Army reminds us of the importance of respecting history, of handling ancient treasures with care, and of the ethical considerations that come with exploring the past. For those who visit the Terracotta Warriors, the experience is often profound. To stand before thousands of lifelike figures, each one representing an individual soul, is to witness a story of devotion, creativity, and humanity. The warriors connect us to the people who lived and labored in ancient China, reminding us of the shared hopes, fears, and ambitions that link all of humanity. They are a silent, enduring testament to the idea that we are all part of a continuum, that the actions of the past resonate through time, shaping the world we live in today. The Terracotta Army also challenges us to consider our own legacy. Just as Qin Shi Huang's warriors stand as a reflection of his dreams and fears, so too will future generations look back on the monuments and creations we leave behind. The warriors remind us that the marks we make on the world, the values we uphold, and the efforts we undertake to preserve our heritage will shape how we are remembered. They are a call to appreciate the treasures of history and to consider the impact we will leave for those who come after us. Today, the Terracotta Warriors remain as they have for centuries, standing guard over the unexcavated tomb of Qin Shi Huang. Though they are crafted from clay, their legacy is as durable as stone. They continue to tell a story of an emperor who sought to rule forever, of artisans who dedicated their skills to his vision, and of a civilization that believed in the power of life beyond death. The Terracotta Army is a reminder that, in some ways, Qin Shi Huang achieved his goal of immortality. Through these warriors, his story will continue to be told for generations to come. As you picture the silent rows of soldiers, each one unique, each one crafted with care and devotion, feel the weight of history they carry. These warriors are not just guardians of a tomb, they are symbols of an enduring legacy, a link to the past and a bridge to the future. The Terracotta Army stands as a monument to human ambition, artistry, and the desire to be remembered. And, in their steadfast silence, they remind us that the stories we tell and the legacies we leave behind are, indeed, timeless.